Coming up inside LSU Gymnastics, we'll take a look back at the Tigers versus Georgia in Athens, and then we'll also look at the dynamic duo of Jay Clark and Bob Moore and how they help make the LSU program go. And then finally, we'll take a look ahead at LSU versus Auburn in the Maravich Center on Friday night.
Inside LSU Gymnastics with Dee Bro is brought to you each week by Gulf Coast Office Products, Louisiana's #1 copier dealer. Gulf Coast Office Products. Sigma Engineers. Sigma Engineers is thankful to our clients who trust us year after year and to the commitment of our selfless employees who bring such great talents to our company. With experts in every discipline, our dedication to safety and quality sets us apart as one of the leaders in the petrochemical industry. Women's Hospital. It's not about being the best. It's about being the best version of yourself. Be the best you with help from Women's Center for Wellness. And Assurance Financial. When you find the home you want to buy, choose a mortgage lender that can help you buy it. David Alello with Assurance Financial. Lending, the way home buyers prefer it. Inside LSU Gymnastics with Dee Bro is an exclusive presentation of the LSU Sports Television Network. This segment of Inside LSU Gymnastics with Dee Bro is brought to you each week by Gulf Coast Office Products, Louisiana's #1 copier dealer. Gulf Coast Office Products.
Welcome to Inside LSU Gymnastics. Along with LSU head coach Dee Bro, I'm Mike Smith. Again today from the gorgeous LSU Gymnastics Training Center on the campus of LSU in Baton Rouge. Dee, it was a fantastic opportunity on Saturday afternoon for your Tigers to go up to Athens, Georgia in a hostile environment. You got to believe that it's going to do wonders for this team going forward.
Well, I don't want to keep saying that this is a young team and we want to stay in the process, but that's the truth of the matter, and we are getting some great performances up and down the lineup, but we're still having little inconsistencies that are kind of breaking our momentum. We had we showed a little kink in our armor in our very best performances Saturday afternoon at Georgia. We put ourselves in a striking distance position with Sydney Ewing's beam routine. When you looked at the first few performances on beam, we about brought that thing back to a tie with a 4/10 deficit. That's huge in this sport. And then the pressure caught us at the end of that meet, but I don't think they'll do it again. I think it was an opportunity to learn and move forward, but this team is destined for greatness, and I'm confident that they're going to continue to get better.
Dee, you have plenty of freshmen and sophomores that was their first opportunity to go into a hostile environment like on the campus there in Athens. What do you think they took away from the experience of actually being in that environment?
Well, first of all, dealing with a little bit of adversity. Lexi Priestman went down during the warm-ups, something that should not have happened, but she did, and that kind of deflated them a little bit. So they learned to deal with that and move forward. The other thing is they learned that we've got to stick our landings. We've got to do a little bit better job sticking our landings, and I think that was kind of a wake-up for Bob. Okay, we got to do some things a little bit different to get them ready in a pressure situation because they're jumping out of good landing positions. The other thing is dealing with momentum, knowing how to deal with momentum, get it on your side, and roll with it.
Well, speaking of momentum, I really felt that at the beginning of the Georgia meet on the uneven bars in the first rotation, your first 2 or 3 performers came right out of the gate and put on some really nice performances.
They did. We were pleased all in all. You can't be disappointed when a team gives you 100%, gives you everything. This group did. We started on bars. We changed our lineup. Led off with Jessica Savona, which we did all last year. She was pretty comfortable in that spot and did a great job. Probably the best routine she's done all year long. So she may have nailed herself down to that leadoff spot on bars.
A 9.85 is a fine road starting score, and then you felt like, okay, we're going to get into a little bit of a rhythm here, and the Tigers did.
Yeah, we did. Maya Hambrick next up, beautiful job on her ray, and then nice rhythm throughout the routine, hit her handstands really well, and nice and high on her dismount, twisted and dropped straight to the floor. So we felt like with that routine, we had established a little bit of momentum. The next spot, though, was the spot where Lexi Priestman goes in. Juliana it came in first time for her score to count and did a great job. So that was a real positive that we took away when you look at what this very young, inexperienced freshman, not an elite level competitor, but somebody that's going to get better and better. And she really stepped up for us. That was a plus that we took away from this meeting.
An outstanding effort by Juliana Canamella there at UGA, and then Dee Dee, you're rounding out that bars lineup, and you really feel like, okay, you're matching some scores here with Georgia a little bit, and you're keeping things within striking distance, which on the road is always an important thing to do.
Well, it was huge because Lexi, you know, that 9-9 that she generally gives us, that was a 2/10 that we needed. Then you looked at the job that Sarah Finnegan did on bars. I felt like beautiful routine, hit her handstands really well. Might have been, you know, we could debate whether or not she was a little bit short on one handstand, but execution was beautiful, dismount was really nice. Here again, a freshman that hadn't competed a lot in 2 years, but an elite level performer that's going to get better.
And I saw you after the first rotation, you got the Tigers together, you guys were talking about what as you get ready to move over to vault?
We got them together, and the message at that point is control what you can control. You cannot control the judges, you can't control the crowd, but stay in the purple zone, focus on this event, let's get some momentum, continue what we're doing, it's gonna be enough. We led off with Juliana on this event. That was a little bit of a change in the lineup. We moved Erin Mekadeg out and then slid her in later in the lineup. Juliana's got beautiful lines, nice and high vault. We feel like once she can establish her ability to stick that vault, it's going to score really well because the execution's really nice. Followed by Sydney Ewan with that beautiful 1.5, and it's as good as she's done and scored well. I may have moved her foot a little bit on the landing, but execution was certainly nice.
There. That's right.
Maya Hambrick, beautiful vault, nice and high. You know, that's SEC champion level vault right there, and she really came through for us at the end of the lineup. But here again, Ashley Natt, she was locked and loaded, and we knew that all she had to do was keep her legs together and stretch that vault out. It was going to stick.
And you know, the ESPN folks, of course, were in the house as they have been throughout the season, and they've been able to start comparing Ashley Natt to some of the other gymnasts and sort of analyzing how that double twisting Yurchenko's come along. And of course, one of the Georgia athletes as well attempted one and did not score quite as well as Ashley, but you can tell that her experience with that routine is really beginning to take over, and the way she dropped it out of the sky at Georgia on Saturday afternoon was a thing of beauty.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. And we needed that big score. It gave us a little momentum. Got the kids back together and, you know, getting ready for the second half of the meet.
Absolutely. And we'll come back and take a look at the second half of LSU at Georgia after this timeout inside LSU Gymnastics. This gymnastics moment brought to you by Sigma Engineering. Sigma engineers and constructors. Safety, relationships, quality, excellence, engineering done right.
One of my favorite memories of being an LSU Tiger was last year when we competed against Missouri and we had a record-breaking crowd of over 13,000 people. It was so much fun and the energy in here was wild and it was so loud, and just to be a part of that was so amazing.
This segment of Inside LSU Gymnastics with Dee Dee Bro is brought to you each week by Assurance Financial. When you find the home you want to buy, choose a mortgage lender that can help you buy it. David Alello with Assurance Financial. Lending, the way home buyers prefer it.
Welcome back to Inside LSU Gymnastics from the LSU Gymnastics Training Center here on the campus of LSU in Baton Rouge. Dee Dee, the second half of the Georgia meet in Athens, you guys go to the floor exercise. you know, a lot of the commentators and of course a lot of the viewers are seeing some of the best choreography in America.
Well, best choreography, I mean, Ashley Claire Kearney's done a marvelous job of matching the individual athlete with the music and then the composition of the routine. And we're blessed with some tumblers, some very strong tumblers, some kids that can get out there and have great legs.
You absolutely are indeed. And you start off at Georgia with the floor exercise, and right off the bat, Sydney Ewing just gives you such a wonderful upperclassman type presence out there on the floor. A 9.85 score. And
you know that was a good score. You know, we were fighting for every half tenth the entire night. So for her to go out there, lead off 9.85. You know, we feel like we're knocking on the door.
And then Maya Hambrick, who had won in the Maravich Center the week prior, every single event and the all-around, 9.875 score for the sophomore from Temple, Georgia, and was just fantastic.
Well, she had a lot of family there, a lot of people there to watch her, and beautiful floor routine. She performs it so well. Her tumbling is so clean. Her execution is so nice. She's so relaxed out there. And I kept, telling her, "Don't get small on me. Don't get small." And she didn't. She stayed big the whole night.
And speaking of big tumbling, does it get much bigger than McKenna Kelly? I know she's been sort of like the genie in the bottle, and you've been waiting for her to pop out and do some really clean and beautiful gymnastics. And I felt like that the floor exercise at Georgia was about the best floor she's done this season.
It truly was the best tumbling floor she's done. Opened with a beautiful double layout. Her middle pass, which sometimes I think is a little bit flat, it was dynamic. It really moved, and each flip rose. And her dance, her presentation was really nice. Finished it up with a nice double tuck, nice and high. Her chest was high, and I think she was pleased with how she did.
Then Bugs Nat just comes along, and she does what Bugs does, and that's another 9.925 score on the floor exercise.
And it's all about her tumbling and her presentation. When her dance is getting cleaner, and her movement with her arms and the coordination of what she's doing with her expression, it's getting better every week, Mike.
9.9s were very hard to come by.
They were.
At Georgia, and to get a 9.925 to head into the balance beam, Dee Dee, I felt like your team was shrinking that gap and putting the pressure on the home team.
Yeah, we had created our own gap, in the first half of the meet.
And then Erin McAdeg steps up and absolutely nails a beam performance and gets 9.925. So you've gone back to back, and now all of a sudden you really are starting to grab some momentum.
Yeah, that routine, Mike, was one of those holy cows.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful beam routine, and that's what you aspire to do. We see that in practice. That's what we aspire for her to do every week. She asked to get that lead-off spot, and that is a great place for her to be.
Maya Hambrick gets up another 9.9 on the balance beam, and that pair of McAdeg and Hambrick to start off that beam lineup is really powerful. And then you continue to motor through that balance beam lineup, Dee Dee, and I felt like that again, it's all about trying to now sustain that momentum.
Yeah. We put Juliana in, and she performed well. Didn't stick or dismount. That's the difference between the 9.85 and the 9.75. But I was very, very proud of how she did, how she competed.
And are you trying to develop maybe a little depth there as you move down the season?
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to have McKenna on beam. McKenna Kelly does beautiful beam, but it's banging on her feet. And Juliana is ready to go. So Juliana's going to get that spot, and she and Michelle and a couple of other kids are going to compete week in and week out.
Well, a 196.8 road score at Athens for the LSU Tigers on Saturday afternoon. A fine road score for the Tigers, and we'll be back with more Inside LSU Gymnastics after this timeout. This week's exceptional performance brought to you by Woman's Hospital. It's not about being the best, it's about being the best version of yourself. Be the best you with help from Women's Center for Wellness. Our exceptional performer of the week is Erin McAdeg, the sophomore from Redwood City, California. An amazing beam effort at Georgia.
I'm going to give it a 10. It was that exceptional. Let's negate any score that we saw. That's exceptional.
Erin McAdeg, our exceptional performer of the week.
You'll have more time to enjoy your life when you're more effective at work. So no matter how you define success, Savin Systems give you the tools you need to succeed. Contact us to learn more about Savin's advanced document management systems and make your office more effective. Savin works here.
call us at Gulf Coast Office Products and see how we can impact your business.
This segment of Inside LSU Gymnastics with Dee Bro is brought to you each week by Women's Hospital. It's not about being the best. It's about being the best version of yourself. Be the best you with help from Women's Center for Wellness.
LSU Gymnastics is blessed with many tremendous assets, and two of them in particular are Associate Head Coach Jay Clark and Assistant Coach Bob Moore. Nearly 20 years here in Baton Rouge between them. Our own Garrett Walbert takes a look inside how those two gentlemen prepare each and every week for another great meet. This week's Inside feature brought to you by Sigma Engineering. Sigma engineers and constructors. Safety, relationships, quality, excellence. Engineering done right.
It's no surprise the last 4 seasons at LSU Gymnastics have been the most successful in school history. With a championship coaching staff entrenched under Dee Bro, the individual and team accolades have poured in. The dynamic duo of Jay Clark and Bob Moore were recently recognized as the National Coaching Staff of the Year. Bob Moore enters his 17th season with LSU and, simply put, is the most accomplished vault coach in the NCAA today. Jay Clark has excelled in 4 seasons with the Tigers, coaching uneven bars and tumbling, and is regarded as one of the finest recruiters in collegiate gymnastics.
When I first came here my freshman year, my bars weren't the best bars ever. I was pretty weak on that event actually, and Jay just molded me and formed me into this amazing bar worker. He's so consistent in the way he coaches, and he really focuses on technique, trying to make each skill like the best it can be. So he's an amazing coach, and his personality and the energy he brings to the event is great.
Jay tends to help in every area, including even your personal life, like whatever you need. He's the kind of coach that is going to be there for you no matter what, and I think that he's just a great person to have in the gym, and his liveliness and the way that he coaches and approaches this team and what we have and what we're capable of is really amazing.
Nobody has better contacts, has better communicating skills, has the ability to follow up on recruiting calls. And then he'll make a call, then he sends me in, and I make a visit. I mean, he's got such a plan, and his plan works. And he is sincere, and when he tells a recruit something, he tells it from the heart, and he means it. And that, I think, is the strength and the change, what has made our recruiting so much better.
Jay Clark and Bob Moore had combined to coach 13 individual national champions on bars and vault. Moore has a unique approach to teaching, which has always endeared him to the student athletes.
Bob is he doesn't really talk like a whole lot, but when he does talk, it's extremely dynamic, and he's very energetic.
Boom! That's it. That's it right there, baby. You'll take that and go right to thump, and we nail them. Think about up. There's no up. You're not lifting. There you go. On your double, when you just flare out like this, those are the ones that you either stick or we have the least amount of movement with, because you're so square coming out.
He'll stand there and he'll be like, okay, all you have to do is just this. Like, and just give you like one thing. He's very experienced, and I think we all really, respect and trust that.
It's going to change every time. There you go. Now, hey, look, instead of shoving and sticking your butt out, keep your chest and just bend your legs. Nice, nice.
Bob is awesome. He's very understanding of everything that we need as gymnasts, and I think that he does a great job of.
Good.
We do a lot of drill work and just focusing on the small details, and I think that really helps in the grand scheme of things.
Bob is a hoot. I love Bob. Bob is the best because if you do a good vault, he will dance and he will jump around, and that is probably the most rewarding feeling ever. But Bob knows what he's doing. Bob knows where to get his athletes in. He knows how to approach the athlete too.
Bob is in charge of setting up for our home meets, breaking down the equipment, making sure that all the equipment in our training center is up to speed, everything is safe, everything is what it needs to be for us to train at the very highest, safest level. Right now, there is no better place to coach gymnastics than right here at LSU, and it's up to us to recruit and coach to the very best of our ability.
Reporting for Inside LSU Gymnastics, I'm Garrett Walbert.
McKenna, what are you doing here so early?
Dee Dee, I'm getting ready for the season.
I know, we are about to be in the full swing of things.
Holy cow!
Holy cow! LSU Gymnastics tickets are less than the movies and fun for the family. Tickets start at just $3, so make sure to get yours today.
Holy cow!
When you find the home you want to buy, choose a mortgage lender that can help you buy it. David Alillo with Assurance Financial. David specializes in helping first-time home buyers, offering conventional, FHA, VA, RD, construction, and jumbo loans. David takes the hassle out of getting a home loan while making you feel right at home. Lending the way you like it. Call David today, 921-8152.
This segment of Inside LSU Gymnastics with Dee Dee Bro is brought to you each week by Sigma Engineers and Constructors. Safety, relationships, quality, excellence. Engineering done right.
A 196-8 road score at Georgia on Saturday afternoon, Dee Dee, and this has got to help the Tigers as you move forward in the calendar.
Well, we got a lot of tough competitions ahead of us. We go to Florida. It's going to be a tough one. We have Alabama and Auburn here, our last two home meets. Scoring is so important at this point because we're going to move away from this average thing that we're doing now and go into our regional qualifying score. But for this team, it's more about learning how to compete, how to put together a complete meet week in and week out, and they're doing a great job. I cannot impress upon people enough. This team is destined for greatness.
A look ahead brought to you by Gulf Coast Office Products, Louisiana's #1 copier dealer, Gulf Coast Office Products. Well, just 2 home meets remain for the Fighting Tigers of LSU in this 2016 campaign, Dee Dee. Doesn't get any bigger than when Auburn comes in. They're on a bit of a roll. The Tigers are on a bit of a roll. It's going to be a great catfight.
It's going to be a great meet. 7:30 Friday night, PMAC. Get your tickets early. You can get them online because I don't want you waiting outside. Get your tickets. You can come on in as soon as you get to the arena.
And get there early because 7:15 is when all of the pageantry starts, and you and your kids don't want to miss that.
It's a big deal. The light show, the fireworks, everything to get this thing going, to create the momentum and the enthusiasm with our crowd, the national anthem, the pep band. It's a really big show.
And the fire and the fireworks and Mike the Tiger, and it's the whole parade.
It's the whole parade, and it's cheaper than a movie.
Absolutely.
Come on.
And I'll tell you something else that's gotten to be really big, and that's the LSU Gymnastics social media channels, whether it's Instagram, now Periscope, of course our LSU Gymnastics Facebook page, which continues to be one of the tops in all of NCAA gymnastics, and then at LSU GYM on Twitter, which is really a nerve center of scores and all sorts of neat behind-the-scenes things, Dee Dee. We're just doing it all.
Well, it's so exciting. I mean, this Friday Night Heights that the SEC Network has created for gymnastics has created a buzz, and we are part of that big buzz.
We want to see you in the stands on Friday night when the Tigers take on Auburn in the Maravich Center. For LSU head coach Dee Dee Bro, I'm Mike Smith. Thank you so very much again for watching Inside LSU Gymnastics. We'll see you next week.
Inside LSU Gymnastics with Dee Dee Bro has been brought to you by Gulf Coast Office Products, Louisiana's #1 copier dealer, Gulf Coast Office Products, Sigma Engineers. Sigma Engineers is thankful to our clients who trust us year after year, and to the commitment of our selfless employees who bring such great talents to our company. With experts in every discipline, our dedication to safety and quality sets us apart as one of the leaders in the petrochemical industry. Women's Hospital. It's not about being the best. It's about being the best version of yourself. Be the best you with help from Women's Center for Wellness. And Assurance Financial. When you find the home you want to buy, choose a mortgage lender that can help you buy it. David Alillo with Assurance Financial. Lending the way home buyers prefer it.